What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Today I had the idea of answering Reddit's questions on running in their running forum. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So let's just jump right into it. And before we get into that today, guys, can you please just make sure to like and subscribe? We are closing in on 200 subscribers still, and that's 200 subscribers special still going to happen. Big things in the works for that, and I'm really excited for it. So make sure to hit subscribe, hit like, and share it to a few friends. Get them to subscribe. The more we get, the closer we get, the more of a community we create. So let's just get right into the video. First question is, what I see right off the bat is, how do I keep a steady pace while running? Well, I think that one's pretty simple to explain. Basically, let's read it. I am a 17-year-old, 178 centimeters. So clearly they're not from the United States because they're using kilograms and centimeters. So before quarantine, I went to the gym regularly, but my workouts are very casual, running 10Ks every other day. So they're running 3 miles every other day, it seems like, because they're running 10Ks every other day. So they started running 2 weeks ago, and they're doing 6 miles every other day. Well, that's probably your problem right there. You have no base mileage under it. You have no prior experience, and you're trying to jump up to 6 miles every other day when you could be doing, say, 2 miles, then 3 the next day, then probably 2 again, and maybe another 2 day, then a 4, and then back down to like a 3, and then like have your long run maybe the first week be a 4 or a 5. Do a long run on Sunday. So the first thing I do here is definitely just start with lower mileage and start building up and do it day by day. So I'd say that's his biggest problem here, and that's the biggest thing I see with runners is, like, even my sister who's trying to get into running, I bought her a pair of Nike Pegasus Turbo 2s, and she expects her every run to be her new farthest, her new fastest, her new best. Like she's going to feel amazing every time. But in reality, that's not how running works, and that's not how getting into it works either. You don't just jump and every day is going to be this whole, well, that was like my best run yet. Like every day is going to be better and better and better. No, that's just not even close to how it works. But what I always say is every step forward is progress. So even if you go out there, you have one of your worst runs, it's still progress. So every day you get outside and run is just bettering yourself no matter what, how fast it is. Yeah, to answer your question, just lower your mileage. Next question we got here is, how do racing shoes work? That's something, not a dumb question. This is probably a dumb question. No, it's not even the slightest. But I've heard they don't try anything new on race day. I do agree with that. So if you have a dedicated pair of shoes for racing and don't normally train in them, how do you not have issues if you do a little train for them? Okay. Are they very different model? Okay. So that's a tricky question, actually. So I do have 2 dedicated pairs of training shoes. I have 3 technically. I have my flats, which are kind of like racing shoes, but for road racing and workouts. So, and then I have my super padded running shoes, my Hoka and Ionis Bondi 6. Those are for my long runs, and then I have my normal Brook Ghost. Those are my everyday trainers. So, but when they say don't try anything new on race day, that doesn't mean like you're necessarily like, it means like, yeah, it applies to your shoes, but if you've been running in spikes or racing flats for a while, that you've become accustomed to them very quickly, and they are very beneficial. So your first time they might feel weird. So I mean, obviously don't wear them on your, don't break in a brand new pair on your biggest race, like the one, right away, right? Like right away, put them through the biggest test, because you don't want to find out that they're uncomfortable. But what I would suggest is to just try them on early, maybe go for like a jog in them, not something like intense, but like when I got my new spikes, I got them actually because I qualified for indoor state as a junior, and so my mom made the deal with me. If I qualified and made a relay, I got a new pair of spikes. So I actually got my new pair of spikes, my green ones that I've showed you guys before. Those are I got those the 2 days before state, and my first time I tried them on, I got to the track meet, and when I got there, It was crowded, but it was warm-up time for everybody. The track was open. So I got there and did a 400-meter light jog in my spikes to, kind of get used to them. If they're flats or like marathon shoes, that's a much different story. I'd just say go on a run with them before. That's really all you can do. That's what I did with my Bondies because I got those for my marathon specifically. And I just tried them on for a longer run. Oh, new subscriber. Tried them on for a long run, and then after that I was ready for the marathon. So really just gotta work with what you're comfortable. But however, I think it's a much broader term than just your running shoes. And are they a very different model? So for me, my running shoes aren't all the same model. They're actually, one's Nike, one's Brooks, and one's Hoka and Aone. And my spikes are Saucony. So I hit every single brand when it comes to running shoes. It really just depends on your foot structure and the way your foot lands. So I do that based on how you judge, But as far as spikes, I always wear Saucony spikes. My cross-country spikes are Saucony, and my track spikes. It's just what I've become accustomed to. I like the feel of them the most. So it's just really your own personal comfort level and what you feel comfortable in. So the next question, dealing with geese. Yeah, I'd say just throw a stick at them. That's what I did once in high school, and I had a geese fly at me. So don't do that. That's the moral of that story. Yeah, ever since then, I see that you say, does anyone try to get around them or shoo them off the path? No. I'm terrified of geese. I would run right around that, and I do all the time. Whenever I see them on a path, I'm afraid of everything. Even like, I have a chipmunk, or when I'm running down my normal trail, there's chipmunks on the side and little squirrels. They'll scare me every time. They'll scurry across the path, and I'll do like, and then like, oh, yeah, it messes up. FBI, open up! Hello? Back to where we were. I just want to apologize for my quarantine hair and the headband. I don't normally wear this, but quarantine calls for desperate times, desperate measures. Headaches and dizziness after intense run. Yeah, I can relate to that one. So today would have been a half marathon event in my hometown, but obviously it was canceled. So I did the distance alone and achieved a new PB. Congrats, man. My legs are pretty okay. If they're feeling okay, then you had more in the tank. It could beat that PB even more. But I am experiencing some nasty headaches and some dizziness. I drank a ton of water and ate a lot of food. Has anyone else? Yes. Okay. So, I actually had this problem a lot during my sophomore year of running. When it came down to it, I was also iron deficient a lot. So that is something you have more iron in your diet. I had to take iron pills. Actually, a lot of runners are iron deficient. So yeah, dehydration might not be the factor, or food. It could be the food that you ate. It could be a whole variety of things. But right after reading it, instantly, if you're dizzy and nasty headaches, that sounds like exactly what I had, and it was just iron deficiency. And taking a few pills was able to help me there on that. So that's what I'd recommend for that. And can I train for this not to happen again? Well, if this is like a new farthest distance as well, you might just be drained physically just from the run, and your body didn't know how to react to it. So, you might not have run like enough in your training. If you're training for a half marathon, I would at least get, at least 11 miles in my long run. Just so when it comes to race day, you're only running 2 miles longer. And then definitely have more iron. So that's a lot of food to have good iron. My go-tos to help my iron deficiency are sweet potatoes, broccoli, and steak, red meat, So and fish. So that's what my go-to would be. So that's really my advice that I have for this. I like this one, actually. Eye contact when jogging. Yeah, that's a good one. When you come across other walkers and joggers, you stare at them or keep jogging. Oh my God, this one guy over here goes, I usually stare them down and start barking. Okay, I love that. No, so my high school team, we did something weird. When we ran past one, we'd always just say morning. Even if we were running in the afternoon, we'd say morning. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with making eye contact with someone. You obviously don't want to be staring them down and like turning your head the entire way. You know, that's a little just strange. Just have some human decency. Same thing like you do when you're outside. It's nothing different. You're just running. Oh, yeah, I like this one. Step 1, initiate eye contact. Step 2, assert dominance. Step 3, profit. Okay. Step 4, fart after passing said individual. I love that. You know, this is what I love about the Reddit forums. They're hilarious. What should I target for a cadence? To be honest, I can look at what my cadence is. Hold on. So for those of you that don't know, cadence is how many steps per minute you take. He's saying that a lot of people recommend 180 steps per minute, but to be honest, it is very relative to your height. Yeah, okay. So my cadence was, I don't know if you can see that, 164. I mean, if you're comfortable and you're in a pace and it just feels comfortable, then that's enough right there. Who really cares then? How can I support runners during their virtual races? Follow them on social media. Give them some encouragement. That's really all you can do. Encourage your friends at this time. Make sure to be a good supporter, good friend. Just encourage others. At what point do you need energy gels in a run? Okay, so actually before I read this one, funny story, my first time using energy gels wasn't till the middle of my marathon. Normally you're supposed to use them beforehand and like train with them and practice with them. However, none of my runs I used them. I think my longest run before my marathon was 17 miles because I only trained for 2.5 weeks. I mean, it was a weird thing to get used to during my run, but I didn't think I really needed it. I used it during the marathon just because my stomach was groggy. I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm so hungry. I need something in. And I was starting to get blurry vision. So energy gels, you know, they gave us pretty big ones. They're about that big. But once I used them, I felt like re-energized. I felt like my vision got better again. My muscles were feeling revived. So I do think they're important in that kind of sense, in like a long run, in like a race format. And, you know, you have to get used to drinking water and those kinds of races, but I see that he's only running 4 to 5 miles here. I don't think I've ever had any kind of water in a 4 to 5 mile run. I think in my marathon I used it at mile 7, is when just because they handed them out then. And then actually no, I think I held on to them till mile 8, and then I used one, put the other one in my pocket and used it at mile like 12 or 13. So really just depends on your own preference. It's whatever your body's comfortable with. What works for you is not going to work for everybody, and what works for everybody else may not work for you. So just if you're interested in it, try it out. Can't hurt, right? I mean, they're a couple of bucks. Next question. Advice for training for first marathon. Okay, I can offer a lot on this. Train for more than 2.5 weeks. It'll do you justice. Yep, that's my only advice. I learned that one the hard way. I knew I should train more, but I was coming off injury, so we'll just go with that. Can't choose a running shoe. We got any experience with it? Okay, so I like what this guy said. He says right here, go to a running store and try them on. That's all you have to do. Especially running specific stores, they'll put you on a treadmill. They'll see what kind of shoe would work best for you, and then they'll go from there. And then usually they'll let you run. I've never seen a store not let me. They actually suggest I go take them for a jog. They'll let me jog on the treadmill, or they'll just go, yeah, just go do a stride or two outside and see how they fit. And like I remember this one store, I came back, they're like, oh, you're done already? I was like, yeah, I just did like a minute. I was like, yeah, I just went like 30 seconds down, 30 seconds back. They're like, oh, we normally have people go for like a mile run in our shoes. I'm like, oh. So really it's just what stores. I mean, the only way to know is to try them on and to actually use them. Every shoe's different, every person's different, so it really just, what works for me is not going to work for you, obviously. Everyone's different, so just go out there, try them on, is really what the only thing you could do, is because I could give you all my recommendations for my shoes, but those might not work for you because you might have a different foot landing or structure, so really what I suggest might not be the best for you. Okay, so this one is something this is where we'll end it today. But I definitely like this. We'll do more in the future, especially if you guys like this. This one says I was running every day and I worked up to 5 to 7 miles a day. And outside my left knee, I assume it's runner's knee from overuse. I was running 5+ days a week, but all the work I've done to mend it over the last few weeks hasn't helped. Yeah, it's definitely my first thing I'm going to suggest while reading this is something I've had a lot of pain with. And for that, I have, most stores carry them. I know Walmart does. I know Myers does. All Amazon does. So really, they're just a knee strap, and it has a pressure point. You strap it right on your knee, and it holds that tendon under your knee in place. And that's really what runner's knee is. It's, for me, it always happened every year while doing base training. And it wasn't, I wouldn't call it overuse. It was my body getting used to running again and getting up to that mileage again, and just that pounding, and your body's not used to it after a long time off. So that's why, I put the strap on. I would wear it for about 2 weeks and then it just go away. Most of the time it didn't even last 2 weeks. So it'd just be like a week at a time and it would be gone. It kind of minimizes the pain that you feel during the run. So that would be my suggestion there. All right, guys, that's where I'm going to call it for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. I did really enjoy filming this one. I've had this idea for a while and I just got around to filming it. So if you guys would like it and would like to see more of this kind of content, and there might be common questions that people want to know the answers to. So I figured I'd go out there and answer them. So if you like this video, make sure to leave a like below. If you have any other videos you'd like to see, make sure to comment that below as well. And make sure to subscribe while you're down there and leave a like and share with some friends. Like I said, we're getting close to that 200 subscriber mark. And I have some really big ideas. And a lot of friends want to get in on it. And so I have some few really good ideas coming up. And make sure you're not going to want to miss it. So make sure to like and subscribe. As always, guys, I appreciate you guys for viewing. And just keep running. All right, guys. Catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.